Back here on Sports Talk, Bobby Hebert, Kristian, Garic. We have Jimmy Burrow on the line with us right now, Joe Burrow's father. So what was that like watching your son and the Bengals bring the Cincinnati fan base just such great joy, snapping a generational playoff trend?
It was just unbelievable that we were so happy. We had a lot of family members there and friends, and of course all the Bengal fans. Long overdue. We weren't necessarily Bengal fans, so Joe got there, but I'm in Ohio. We have a lot of friends that have been longtime Bengal fans, so we knew the drought was 31 years, and it was great to kind of get rid of that curse, so to speak.
Jimmy, go back to 2018, and then fast forward to here we are, 2022, and you just saw your son and the Bengals win their first playoff game in 31 years. You saw him lead LSU to a national championship. Could you have ever envisioned this going back to 2018 in your wildest dreams?
The LSU 2018, sometimes you think, well, they were great that whole year. Well, they weren't. They had ended up with a Fiesta Bowl win, but there were some down times during that 2018, and then all of a sudden, you have a lot of those guys coming back and great defense, and you win a national championship. And there's some similarities. We struggled last year with the Bengals. Joe got hurt. It was a process, and now they're in the playoffs. So the turnaround from both years, Joe's year this year and last year, and then the LSU 2018, 2019. I mean, there's similarities, but the good thing is there's a lot of character guys on the Bengals. There were a lot of character guys on the LSU, and certainly a lot of great athletes and on both of those teams. And if you have that, and then Coach O did a great job, Zach Taylor's doing a great job, and so all of a sudden you're in the hunt. You got a chance. What's hard to believe, there's only 2 games away from the Super Bowl, and that's still kind of hard to wrap my head around that.
Jimmy, how did Joe react to Coach O being let go?
Well, just Joe and our whole family, we were disappointed. I mean, we didn't know the ins and outs of what was going on, and so we only know what Coach O did for Joe and did for our family and did for LSU, and that was to win a national championship. And he will always be special to our family. Joe will always say that he loves Coach O, and what Coach O did to take a chance on him is huge for where he is today. So we were disappointed. We're always going to support LSU because that's a big part of our family, and it will be forever and ever.
Now, Jamie, when you look at, isn't it ironic? I don't know. They're all fighting Tigers. LSU, Bengal Tigers, now Cincinnati Bengals. That Joe ends up back in Ohio. To me, that's unbelievable good karma when you think about it. Ohio, but the same mascot going on and on. Yeah. I mean, isn't that like crazy when you think about it?
Well, we like the cat family. I coached 14 years for the Bobcats too.
Okay.
So
like the cats.
We have. It is ironic, and some of the people at the tailgates here at Cincinnati have these big stuffed animals, the Bengals, and so we wanted one. Robin, my wife, wanted one, so Joe's girlfriend bought us one. And all of a sudden, she put it on the internet because she wanted to name it. And we just got flooded with people all over the country saying, well, that's a no-brainer. It's got to be Mike. So we have Mike the Bengal now. We could disguise him as Mike the Tiger also. But it's kind of funny that it ended up that way. But we do like the cat family.
Jimmy, I can tell you, since the Saints were eliminated, there's a lot of Saints and LSU fans that are Bengals and Joe Burrow fans for the remainder of the postseason.
They are big-time Bengals fans because, you know what, it ain't the Jets or the Giants or Chicago, a major market or whatever. Listen, they are Bengals fans right now. The Who Dat Nation, and we love Joe Burrow because Saints fans are Tiger fans, LSU Saints, vice versa. So they all cheering for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, Joe, before he ever went to LSU, growing up, his favorite team was New Orleans because of Reggie Bush, and then eventually Drew Brees. So that's our ironic. Their big chant is "Who Dat." The Bengals' big chant is "Who Dey." So there's a lot of similarities, but can't wait. My understanding is that the Bengals play in the Superdome next year. So can you imagine that crowd if they're able to see Joe and the Bengals play the same?
Well, I can tell you what, Jimmy, they will not introduce the Bengals offense because the Bengals offense, especially Joe Burrow, would get as much acknowledgement and a loud cheer as the whole Saints team. I'm not hating.
Well,
I'm just keeping it real.
I'm hoping for a big win in the last couple of snaps. They take Joe out just to see what the crowd would do. That would be amazing.
Well, I think, Jimmy, they're going to introduce the Saints offense and the Bengals defense. They will not introduce the offense. That's just going to happen.
We're looking so forward to that and to revisit the Superdome and just the response is going to be overwhelming to really Joe and our whole family. They're going to be Saints fans, but we know they're always rooting for Joe to do well and Jamar, and it's a special relationship with Joe and Louisiana and our family also. So we're looking forward to that.
I'm assuming that he no longer lives in your basement anymore.
No, we got him out of there, So to his delight, we liked him being around since he went off to college and went to LSU. We really hadn't had him around that much, so it was awesome. And the draft, in our living room, and people wanting to know if Joe was going to buy us new curtains because they seemed to think they were outdated. We did get new curtains. Joe didn't buy them for us. We did that ourselves. But that was a great time, and it was fun watching him, or at least listening upstairs, because the Bengals started installing the offense while he was in the basement, and you could hear him, talking to the coaches and actually working on snap counts and things like that. And it was cool to have him around that long. I've always thought it was interesting too. Of course, I watched you play, and Coach O always said that Joe reminded him of you. So I always thought that was a great compliment to Joe, because I know how good a player you were and how tough you were. And Joe shows a lot of that toughness that I remember watching you show that toughness too.
Well, Jimmy, I appreciate that compliment. I just wish I had Joe Burrow's skill level. I am being honest. No, I think it was as tough as Joe, but I didn't have necessarily the level of the intangible, the skill set of Joe. But I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you what. I text Joe, and I congratulate him all what he accomplished. And he said, you know what? It makes me want to cry right now. It really appreciates coming from you. Boy, you know what? That speaks volumes. What? I hope the Bengals win the damn Super Bowl. Hell yeah.
Well, I'm even more impressed that he responded, because I try to text him during the course of the week, and I get crickets most of the time. So he's so focused during the week, it's still crazy and actually scary, because we can call and leave a message, hey, call Mom and Dad, or text him, and again, we may not hear anything till after the game. It's kind of a funny deal.
I can tell you this, and I've said this under Coach O, because I talked to Coach O. When you think about the season they had, the magical season, it's in the conversation. I think it's the greatest season ever, but it's in the conversation. Come on, how can you not acknowledge that? Come on, Jimmy.
No, you have to, and what well, they say, well, what do you think about Coach O and not coaching here and there and whatever? And I just said, I know one thing. Coach O is always going to be remembered as the head coach of the greatest college football team that ever has been.
Amen.
So that's a pretty good legacy to leave, whether he coaches again or not. But phenomenal. Just look at the NFL and I mean, to put Justin and Jar and Clyde and Joe and Thaddeus and all those guys on defense on the same team. I mean, it really wasn't fair, and most of those games played out that way too.